Hey guys, what's up? Skulls and Bones 444. So, let me tell you, today was interesting. I had a lot of channeled messages, okay? Um, I was feeling kind of emotional and I didn't know why. And then I started seeing, all kinds of synchronicities today. And I looked them up and I'm like, oh, okay. And wrote all these messages down that I got and I'm like, this is a lot. And I'm thinking to myself, no one's gonna want to hear this whole shit, okay? But the divine is like, you gotta do this because you're part of the collective and you have to serve humanity. So, for some of you guys out there, if you are attracted to this message, then it's meant for you. And for others out there, okay, whatever, leave it, take it, it's fine. But this is what I've got. So today, the I was channeling five different songs, and they're all from the 70s. And then I grew up listening to a lot of 70s rock and roll and shit growing up with my dad. And then the older I got, the more I liked really heavy, vulgar metal, like Slipknot, Slayer. Anyways, in the grocery store, I heard just like the good old days. Don't ask me who sings it, I have no idea. The next song was Telephone Line by Electric Light Orchestra, which I have seen live and they put on a hell of a show. Strange Magic by Electric Light Orchestra. How Do You Mend a Broken Heart by the Bee Gees. And then Don't Bring Me Down once again by the Electric Light Orchestra. So here we go. And I had noticed, I'm like, oh, five songs. I'm like, okay, well, five talks about change. Everybody here in the collective is going through so much change, and so are the enemies, but positive luck and then karmic debt to pay off. Okay, but especially if you've been seeing 555. Okay, that's big change. So, what I said here is before I get into the songs and their lyrics, I just want to give everybody in the collective so much love and credit, including myself, for being so strong past 6 to 10 years. For some of you, it was even longer. Being so strong for being able to hang on tight and never giving up. These past years of spiritual and psychological warfare have been grueling and tumultuous to say the least. This journey wasn't easy at all, and it damn sure ain't for the weak at heart. Next one. In fact, I'm willing to bet that some of you may have even questioned God and the archangels about why we were going through this and what in the hell, pun intended, did we do to what did we do to deserve this shit? Maybe you thought that you were a royal asshole to someone as a kid, but you didn't remember who, and you thought maybe that's why I'm going through all of this shit, or as the term says, eating the shit sandwich per se. Well, guess what? The answer to all those questions are a huge fat no. You are not an asshole, okay? Everyone's made mistakes and shit, but here's what I got. When I say no, I'm talking about how we didn't do anything in this lifetime to deserve such cruel and harsh treatment, but we did do horrible things in our past lifetimes, especially with our karmic family, aka the cult, okay? However, before we reincarnated here, our souls decided that we wanted to change for the better in every way possible. And to do that, we knew that we had to find a way to redeem ourselves, and that meant reincarnation. We chose to come back to Earth so that we could learn to take accountability for our faults and the shitty ways that we treated people in our past lifetimes. Furthermore, not only did we choose to come down here to pay the piper, But more importantly, God and the archangels made us their chosen ones because they trusted us to complete a huge task down here. And that mission is to serve humanity. But more importantly, it's to serve humanity here with all kinds of shit. Earth angels, light workers, star seeds, natural witches, natural healers, all kinds of crap. And with all kinds of different occupations, whether you don't have to be, doing divination like this. You don't have to own your own metaphysical shop. You can be a doctor, a nurse, you could be a teacher, a lawyer, whatever the case may be. But you're here to serve people and make humanity better as a whole. So, having said that, before coming back, we designed our soul contracts with God in regards to who we were going to be in this lifetime and what we had to do to ascend higher within the spiritual realm, such as forgiving others who have fucked us over. Yeah, forgiving others who have fucked us over, using discernment by knowing when to let someone go because they've already served their purpose, forgiving ourselves for our mistakes and taking accountability for our actions, and then moving on from them. That's been probably one of the biggest things with this whole spiritual awakening is learning how to accept shit. It happened. There's nothing we can do about it. There's no backtrack button on anything. Accept it that it happened and you gotta move on. Okay, because the karmic and the other enemies, they have lingered and wallowed over this shit, and they always will. But we as a collective, we've had to learn to accept and just say it is what it is. What lessons did we learn from this? That's the question we had to ask ourselves. What lessons did we learn from this, particular situation? And whatever that lesson was, okay, now we have that in our bag of wisdom and knowledge, and we can use that for future situations. So we know how to deal with shit much better. Let's see here. Yeah, being able to apologize when we've hurt others, realizing that we're human beings just like everybody else, and that we all deserve the same amount of love and respect, regardless of age, race, status, education, etc. In addition to this, we must realize that we're not perfect, and neither is anybody else. So none of us have the right to, are entitled to judge the next person in line. There was some story in the Bible about people throwing stones at a woman who was a prostitute. And then Jesus was like, for those who haven't sinned may throw the first stone. They stopped. Nobody. I don't care who you are, what your job is, how much you make. You're not entitled to judge anybody. Okay? You leave that shit up to the divine. Says here. However, if people cross your boundaries, then we have the right to let them go because we should never subject ourselves to negativity or toxicity. Furthermore, as humans, we should try our best to understand that not everybody lives the same way in terms of culture, principles, values, religious and spiritual beliefs. And that's because we have to learn how to see things from different points of views and angles. Not everybody operates or handles situations in the same way. Karmic and the other people, very opinionated. They don't want to see shit from a different way. It's their religion is correct, anybody else is wrong. And it's the mindset is just it's their way or the highway. There is no opening up the blinders to see anything from another perspective. And you can't help somebody like that, okay? Just you've learned a lesson from the karmic and from the enemies and just let it go. We've accomplished that, y'all. As a collective, we have accomplished that. Those are the people, they have a lot to learn, and that's going to be their business with the divine. So, on another note, we came here to learn much, much more. I'm talking about things such as unconditional love for ourselves and others, self love, which the karmic and the enemies can't fucking stand, empathy, compassion, heartbreak of all sorts, and apologizing for our wrongdoings and for hurting others in the process, etc. But here's the thing, these aren't the only things that we have to learn because let's face it and let's get real. A to do list for us collective is never ending, okay? Everybody in this life has a to do list that's never ending, but collective specifically, it's always having to be there for the people we know who need it, okay? We know when to cut our losses, when we know that people have no desire to change, because we do have to take care of ourselves too. We have to save our own energy because being around, energy vampires, psychic vampires, negative Nancy's, it's exhausting. And it feels like it takes, I don't know, a century more to recover with sleep. Like instead of, oh, the 8 to 9 hours of sleep that you need, no, you feel like you need 12 to 14 hours almost. And people look at you like, what the hell? Unless you're a part of the spiritual realm, others ain't gonna get it. But fuck them, hey, we ain't gotta give anybody an explanation. We just gotta learn to take care of ourselves in every which way, shape, and form. And now I'm like, phew, that tech talk show is over, and now it's time to talk about music. Okay, well, I did say here, I thought all these songs had so much deep and richer meaning when we actually listen to the lyrics with our hearts rather than our minds. Okay, number one, just like the good old days. It said, a lot of you guys could be reminiscing on the simpler times of life before shit hit the fan with the spiritual warfare, and it was, let's face it, it was also psychological warfare. Constantly having to think not 5 steps, but 10 steps ahead of what they were going to throw at us constantly. Okay, and these were, you're probably thinking about the times when you had, better health because they have fucked with your health beyond belief. You had your twin flame and you had your finances all together. You were doing great, and then all of a sudden, boom, right before you realized it, in the blink of an eye, gone. The carpet ripped up from underneath you. And yes, this has been, looking back now, we can say that this has been a love hate relationship for this journey because we hated it with all of the spell work, the curses, the necromancy, sex magic, the sacral chakra magic, demonic entities sent our way, monitoring spirits, all of that shit. But it taught us many things about our life with just how cruel people can be, but you have to remember that not everybody is out to get you. And that is where we healed our hearts, our heart chakras. They wanted us to keep it closed. No, no. And I always say this. The love part too is when we discovered that they wanted us for a blood sacrifice and that they literally wanted to take us off this planet. I don't know about y'all, but I learned to appreciate life 10 times more than I ever have. And appreciate the people around you because you don't know what tomorrow brings, y'all. You're here today and tomorrow you're gone. The same thing with other people. But guess what? All of this shit is in the past now, and the better days are going to be so beautiful that you're not going to believe that it's real, but it is. Number two, Telephone Line by Electric Light Orchestra. Go ahead and look up this band on YouTube. And I just put here, I know you guys are yearning and aching to hear from your twin flame and finally have that reunion. But as mentioned time and time again, it's all in divine timing. You must wait for that biggest surprise of your life. It's right around the corner, yo. I keep feeling it in the summertime. Third one, Strange Magic, once again, by Electric Light Orchestra. I personally have it. I don't know about y'all, but to think that all the damage that was done to ruin our lives was all due to dark magic still blows my mind, especially when it comes to our love lives and the amount of jealousy and hatred that these people have had and still have in their hearts. I mean, some people, I guarantee you that some people really do feel like shit once they found out the truth, okay? And then other people, unfortunately, they loved every part of it because that's just their personality. They're bullies, they like to bully other people, and that's because they're hurt people inside. Hurt people, but now they're really gonna see what the other side is like from what the divine gives them. Okay? But remember, it's not our place to judge. It's not. And as the quote says from the Bible, forgive those who don't know what they're doing. They knew what they were doing with the magic and the curses. Oh, absolutely. They've been studying that shit for years. But did they know the amount of heartbreak that they were causing? That's a question of yes and no. Some of them could possibly have gone through a shit ton of heartache like this before. And once again, hurt people. But then on the other hand, they've never been through that kind of shit. And for them, it was just, you pissed me off. Here's the revenge. Take it. Even though it was a petty action that you committed, psh, take it. That's just the way this world operates and the people in it. And you just gotta figure out and discern who deserves your time and the energy that you want to be surrounded by. You want to be around like minded people, okay? Anybody else that gives you the heebie jeebies and you just don't feel right, leave. I guarantee you that the next day you're going to figure out that something crazy happened and you're like, oh, my gut instinct served me right. Thank God I left. So, see, number four, How Do You Mend a Broken Heart by the Bee Gees. Guys, this is the tall tale question of life or forever. There is no right or wrong answer for that. Some people say that, time heals all wounds. And then others claim that, you can die from a broken heart. I believe in both. I don't know what you guys believe in, but then again, should be open for conversation. Put your comments in the comment section. I would love to see what you guys think. This would be a great conversation to keep on going. But see with the collective, I think that we were built like for tough because we did mend our broken hearts from the people who betrayed us, learning who the hidden enemies were, people that we never would have suspected, okay? And learned to really, really forgive them and realize that they served a purpose in your life. And then you had to figure out what purpose was this? Why did they do this? You had to analyze it in your own mind because everybody's got their own view. And the point of this was to see shit from a different perspective. And that keep keep your circle close. Okay? Not everybody's your friend, unfortunately. But when you find your soul tribe, keep them close because you don't want to be around people that are exhausting. And then, let's face it, mending a broken heart takes years. Takes years. And it's a lot of hard work and effort. But you got to think to yourself, the longer that it takes for you to mend your heart, well, there's no timeline for it, but the longer you take on it, I think that that would turn it into more of anger, and you don't want anger or animosity in your heart. And that's what the collective has realized and discovered along the way. We don't want to harbor any resentment, anger, any hatred, nothing. Just learn your lessons, learn to love and respect yourself and others, and move on. For the other people who do want to mend their broken hearts, but they don't know how to, unfortunately, I do not think that, well, they do have the mental and emotional strength to do it. It's just a matter of they choose not to do it because it takes work and effort and many tears to shed and depression like no other. But having the strength to learn to pick yourself back up and to keep on chugging. And for some people, that's just too much work and they don't want to feel that. They don't want to go through the emotions. They don't want to cry. They don't want to feel any pain. They would rather just ignore it. Because if you ignore it, then it doesn't exist. They just go for the drugs and the alcohol and whatever to numb themselves up, shove it under the carpet and let it go. But that's their choice. And then the last song here is Don't Bring Me Down. I think it speaks for itself. Okay? Guys, we have learned throughout this whole journey that, yeah, a lot of us have, the majority of us, the black sheep, the outcast, we have been surrounded by the naysayers, negativity, people that are toxic, always bringing us down, telling us that forget about your dreams and goals. Like, that's so rare that People like only Bill Gates or whatever would ever establish that. And, we don't come from a family like that, or we don't have enough education to do that. And excuse after excuse after excuse. Well, guess what? As a collective, whoever you are, whether you're a black sheep or not, it is your choice to make that difference and to be that trailblazer. I hope you loved my conversation.